I'm Johnny, you're watching A View to a Grill, and today we're comparing charcoal barbecue briquettes. These are 4 name brands, easy to find, at least in my area, and we're going to compare all 4. First up, Kingsford. Okay, I just reached in, grabbed a charcoal briquette. A closer look at the front, or at least what I'm going to call the front, because it has the letter K on it. And the back has these 2 parallel grooves. Don't judge me. Well, it has no smell. Difficult to break. I mean, I can't break it. I'm trying pretty hard. As you can see, it does flake a little bit. I don't know if that's to be expected. Well, it's pretty solid. Curious to see the other brands to see how solid they are. A little bit of breakage there. I thought about tasting it, but we won't do that. Next up, Royal Oak. We have pretty distinct differences. This one has 2 very pronounced channels on both sides. I can actually smell this one, whereas I could not smell the Kingsford. It actually smells a little bit like burnt wood. Okay, it has a little bit of flaking, but it really held itself together better than the Kingsford. It too is really solid. Seems like a harder briquette than the Kingsford. Next up, Embers. Same exact smell as Royal Oak. Maybe it's because Embers is made by Royal Oak. Now I don't know if it's the luck of the draw, but there's a lot more flaking on this briquette than there was on the Royal Oak name brand briquette. You can see it has the same exact shape, the big channels on both sides. But I will say, I mean, you can see it quite clearly how much flaking there was for Embers. Next up, it's B&B. Now the B&B, it has a slight smell to it. That's pretty solid charcoal there. A little bit of flaking, but chunks of it aren't coming off like on the Kingsford or the Embers. Let's take a look at them side by side. Also, take note on how dirty the sheet of paper is right before I cover it up with the next brand. B&B here, Embers, Royal Oak, and Kingsford. So here they are side by side, Kingsford, Royal Oak, Embers, B&B. So if we go ahead and move them all and put them side by side, the Kingsford is the smallest. I mean, not in maybe their forward-facing shape, but if you turn them side by side and look at their side profile, you see that the Embers and the Royal Oak next to the Kingsford does not have the profile as the Royal Oak. Comparing it to B&B, considerably smaller, their profile view considerably thinner. Now Royal Oak and B&B side by side, it actually kind of looks like the sides of the Royal Oak are a little bit thicker than the B&B. See, it comes up just a little bit higher than the B&B for what it's worth. But the B&B is a bigger overall charcoal. You can see that, you know, the test that I did on how they mark up paper, it's probably B&B probably wins that. Now, I'm curious about the Embers and the Royal Oak because the Embers did have a little bit more trash on the paper than the Royal Oak. Side by side, the Royal Oak, if you can see, the Embers still has a little bit of trash in it, actually. So maybe the Embers is a lower quality brand than Royal Oak is willing to put their name on. I don't know. Even the edges look a little bit different. In this Royal Oak is this one. It looks smoother, cleaner. Maybe it's just not good enough to put the Royal Oak name on. Now, just looking at all these side by side, well, the Kingsford is the smallest. It has a dirty sheet. So, I mean, it is what it is. I don't know if that's going to mean it's not going to burn as hot or as long or whatever. But we're going to put that to the test. Now, since these are not all the same size, I'm just going by volume. I got everybody in a Weber chimney starter, and it's a full Weber chimney starter. All right, let's get these fired up. It's actually the next day, and today I had time to do it, so we're going to get it done today. This ought to be fun. Now let's go ahead and check these after about 5 minutes. Now that's starting to get real hot, and B&B is really burning pretty clean. Let's get a close-up on Embers. That is a lot of smoke coming out of there. I mean, it's smoky, but not as smoky as Embers. And then Kingsford is to the right, and over there is Royal Oak. They look about the same. Maybe Royal Oak is a little bit cleaner. Okay, we'll get another close-up of them in, I don't know, maybe 5 more minutes. And that's what my backyard looks like, with 4 chimney starters going at the same time. Now the plan is to let these ash over, and once they ash over, I'm going to put the exact same grill grate on top of each one, and let's see which one gets the hottest. Also, we're going to measure who loses the most charcoal when the charcoals have ashed over. Here's where we are after about 10 minutes. You can see Kingsford is burning clear. Well, almost clear. Royal Oak is burning clear also. I'd call that clear. Now Embers still has some smoke coming off of it. And B&B is by far the clearest, and has been the clearest the whole time. As a matter of fact, we can start seeing some flames coming through that B&B. And, you know, we're seeing a few flames come through the Embers as well. Now the Royal Oak, I can't get too close to that because it probably has the most flames coming out of it right now. Kingsford, no flames. Here's a peek at the grill grates I'm going to use. Now if that shape looks familiar, it's because my dad made these for me to go inside of my Cray Court setup. So these are just stainless steel grill grates, and it just gives me another option for that Cray Court. Okay, now I'll give you an exact time once I get into the editing room, but it looks like B&B right here is the first one to show any signs of ashing. None on Embers, none on the Royal Oak, and none on the Kingsford. So we're about 15 minutes in, and to be honest with you, it looks like it's going to be between B&B and Royal Oak. Let's take a look. B&B, and also it looks like B&B has the least amount of, we're just going to call it shrinkage. There is Embers, not as far along as his brother, Royal Oak. And to be quite honest with you, this is what I use every day. This is Kingsford, and after about 15 minutes, it's the slowest. 17 minutes Royal Oak. I am going to go ahead and call it for the Royal Oak. Let's give it a little shake. And let's see if we can get a quick measurement before I burn myself. There we go. We'll give that a few minutes. Holy crap. Look what just happened. Looks like Kingsford is second. That just happened. Let's give it a little shake. And a quick measurement before I burn myself. B&B. Let's go ahead and call that one done. I mean, B&B obviously has the least amount of shrinkage, but just to be fair, we're going to measure it also. And the paint on my measuring tape caught on fire. Damn it. Maybe that means it's the hottest. Who knows? Grill grate. And then the embers. Give it, oh my God, look at it just fall down. Let's go ahead and get a quick measurement on that. Let's start measuring some heat. Now, Royal Oak was first. It's 220. Now let's see who burns the longest. That's where we are with Kingsford, Royal Oak, Embers, and B&B. 220, y'all. 303. Kingsford. Give it a little shake. Still doing pretty good. Well, that's just about gone for the Royal Oak. And the same for the Embers. But look at B&B. Still going strong. 340. I think Kingsford is done. These have been done for quite a while. B&B, not done. So we know who the winner is. B&B. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and call this at 411. Okay, so what did you think? Now, in this charcoal comparison, I try to do some things that I haven't seen done with other charcoal comparisons. I hope you liked what I did today. There were a few surprises. Me being a loyal Kingsford customer, I really thought it was going to perform a lot better. Embers on sale at Home Depot. Are you going to grab it? Are you going to stick with Kingsford? Are you a Royal Oak fan? Now that you've seen B&B, are you going to start looking for B&B in your store? Does it all come down to how much does it cost? During the summer months, you can always get Kingsford on sale during any major holiday. And now Embers is on sale at Home Depot during any major holiday also, at a little bit better price than Kingsford. B&B is a little harder to find. I had to get that at Academy, but you can get them at HEB too if you live here in Texas. Well, I hope you learned something, because I sure did. Thank you for watching A View to a Grill, and I'll see you next time.